Hey guys, it's the programming guy. Today I'm going to teach you about conditionals in Python. A couple of you have been commenting me about how I can improve this. Well, not really how I can improve this series. So, like one person said that you need to make it more interesting. So if you could please tell me how in more specifics, that would be great, because I just want to make the channel good. Alright, so let's get started. So we learned about comments, we learned about string replacement, we learned about multi-line comments, we learned about arithmetic. Alright, so I did all of that stuff. Now we're going to combine all of that stuff, and we're going to learn about something called conditionals. Now what a conditional is, it's essentially, conditionals are in every single program you ever use. They're in video games, they're in websites, they're pretty much what make things run. So the conditionals I'm going to be teaching you today are if, else, and elif. So these are three very basic conditionals. Oh, also and not, and or. Yeah, 6 basic conditionals, very easy to use. And again, if you find any of this stuff hard, since my channel isn't quite big yet, or at least at all, if at all, which I doubt, I can talk to you personally via whatever social media you have, or just comments, or any of that stuff. Skype. Okay. So, yeah, let's get started. So, let's make a test. So, we're going to make something called age. Variable called age, and let's set it to 40. So, we have a new variable called age, and it's set to 40. So now, let's say we wanted to do something with this. So, what should I do? I'm gonna actually set this age to 10. Then we're going to make another variable. I happen to be a big fan of American Horror Story and the show Walking Dead, shows like that. So I'm going to make something called movie rating, and we are going to set that to 18. So here's how to use conditionals. Now what I'm going to do, and I'll do this a lot, I'm just going to type the code and then explain to you how it works. And also, whenever I do things like this, make sure you practice this, because if you just go next video, you're kind of going to forget as you go. So make sure to practice. So we're going to type the word if. I'll just do it. Age. Alright guys, I'm back. I have typed the code, so I'm going to give you a brief moment to guess what this does. Alright, you probably should have paused the video, because I'm going to continue. So we have our two variables, age, and so I'm going to, and movie ratings. So I'm going to explain to you what this does. I'll bring up the console. Actually guys, let me pause 1 second so I can bring up the console. Alright guys, I'm back, and I changed some code here for the variables so that if you don't remember what int does, it converts something that is not a number, or at least not a number without a decimal point, into a number. So this raw input here, this is going to get a string, but since we're going to be typing in numbers, we need the int, so it'll turn it into a number, which this can read. Same with movie rating. Take a minute to understand that if you need. Alright, so let's run the code finally. What is your age? The console asks me. I'm just going to go ahead and say 53. What is the rating for the movie? 200. You are too old to be watching shows. Eat healthy. So, I'm going to explain to you what this does now. This uses some things that you haven't seen before and looks rather complicated to you, as I would assume. So we have our first statement. These are all, first of all, before I explain this, I'm going to explain one simple thing. See this little colon here? After any sort of if statement, else, elif, you have to put a colon. And what PyCharm automatically does, it indents your line. You need that. In Python, if let's say I did this, it already gives you an error in the PyCharm editor, and it gives you an error here. So you got that out of the way. Indentation. So let's take our first statement. If age, this sign thing here, movie rating, and then this colon, indent this. So I'm just going to break down what this says. If, and I mean this as in literal if the age variable is greater than or equal to the movie rating, print you are allowed to watch the good stuff. So it's pretty self-explanatory the way I explained it. If the age, our variable age, is greater than or equal to the movie rating, then we're going to do this. So if we set so if we run it and we make our something, let's make our age 16 and we make 12, you are allowed to watch the good. Okay, I don't know why. Oh, these are us. Sorry about that. I'll explain that in just a second. What is your age? 16. Grade for movie 12. You are allowed to watch the good stuff. Now let's move on to our next one. If. Alright, I was confused with this one at first, but this is pretty much, this statement right here is two statements combined. Else and if. Now what else does, which is this statement down here, it says if the following above in our certain chain of if and elifs, if none of them turn out as true, then we're going to execute this. Elif said it's still going to be an if. Notice how we didn't put any conditions for the else, but elifs and ifs you need to. So notice how we said elif age is less than 0, then you're going to have to print this out. So let's make our age -2, 36. You don't exist because nobody can be -2 years old. Alright. So I'm just going to explain this really quickly one more time because I hate over-explaining things. But elif means if this is not true and this is true, then we're going to do this. Alright, got it. We have another elif, and I'm not going to use this examples because this video is going to be too long considering it is a tutorial. And we have our else. So let's say we ran the code and we said 80. What is the rating for the movie? Let's make sure that this is something legible. You are really old. I know, a funeral home nearby. Alright. So, what this does, it'll pretty much go through our little chain of if and elifs, and it'll say, alright, is this true? No. Because age is greater, because age is greater than equal to movie rating. It isn't greater than equal to our movie rating. Elif, is this true? No, age is not less than 0. It's 80. Or is our age between 50. This means greater than 50. And the and statement means you put in two conditions and they both have to be true for this to execute. It's sort of like real life. If this is true and this is true, then do this. If you have these both true, it's this, but neither of these are true, so it's not going to go. Else, this is our final one, and else means none of these are true, so it's going to run. Print, you are really old, I know a funeral home nearby. So yeah, those are ifs. You can make calculators with this, say, enter the division, enter the operation you want to do, turn the raw input into an integer with the int command, put it through an if, elif, else loop that says all that stuff. Yeah, you got it. Alright, thanks again, guys. By the way, I forgot to mention this in my previous videos. The links for the next videos are in the description. So you can just check that out. And if you don't see a link there, I will always update my description. If you don't see a link, that means that the next video is not out yet. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, leave a like. See you next time.